Seeing the most terrifying creature about to arrive, the students quickly took off their coats and covered the boy with them. Then they immediately ran to the playground and stood still. The next second, the ferocious female principal appeared on the playground. Everyone was trembling with fear. Unexpectedly, a girl sold the boy directly. Damn. The students immediately began to pray for the boy. However, just when the principal came to the pile of clothes, the girl spoke again, saying that the boy had been sleeping there since last night and had no time to commit the crime. The principal was stunned when he heard this because he found that the boy's urine in the cup was still hot. It was obvious that it had not been done by the boy. The students nodded their heads and said they were sure. Seeing that the timing was right, the boy woke up in time and asked the principal what had happened, with an innocent look on his face. At this time, although the principal knew there must be something fishy, he couldn't find any flaws and had no way to attack. The principal, with nowhere to vent his anger, suddenly noticed that the girl at the end of the line was in a ponytail. Then the principal walked up to her, grabbed her long braid, and started a 360-degree spin. Before the shocked students could react, the girl who had been floating in the air for a year was thrown out of the wall by the angry principal. However, the principal did not intend to stop there. He then called everyone into the auditorium and dragged Xiaomei to the podium. He determined that she was the one who stole the cake and was ready to lock her up in a small dark room. At that moment, a strange sound came from the last row of the auditorium. Although the boy who reacted immediately covered his mouth, the delicious smell of cake had already floated out. Seeing this, the principal took a deep breath and instantly realized that it was the little boy who had stolen the cake. Seeing that the matter was exposed, the boy admitted that he had eaten the cake. But unexpectedly, the principal was not angry at all. Instead, she ordered the kitchen to make a 4-layer egg yolk cake. The boy was pushed in front of the cake and told to finish it in 10 minutes. If he did, she wouldn't pursue the matter of him eating it secretly. Otherwise, he would be kicked out of school immediately. To avoid being beaten by his parents at home, the boy could only desperately grab the cake and stuff it into his mouth. At this time, he changed clothes instantly and formed a cheerleading team to cheer for himself. The principal was very confident that the boy couldn't finish it. Unexpectedly, at the last second of the countdown, the boy actually ate all the cake in front of him. This scene made the principal's mouth twist with anger. She directly said that even if the boy finished eating, she would still punish him, and then she prepared to throw the boy out of school. At the critical moment, Xiaomei loudly stopped the principal's action and reprimanded her for breaking her promise at her age. Seeing that Xiaomei dared to humiliate her in public, the principal immediately prepared to give her the most severe punishment. As soon as she finished speaking, she opened the terrifying little black room and prepared to let Xiaomei experience what real terror was. But this threat not only didn't work, it aroused the resistance of the classmates. They all stood on the desks to support Xiaomei and shouted loudly that if the principal had the ability, she should lock everyone up. Unexpectedly, this was exactly what the principal wanted. She pulled a switch and opened hundreds of small dark rooms. This terrifying scene scared the students into hiding under the desks. However, as the principal continued to threaten, Xiaomei, who had superpowers, decided not to pretend anymore. She used telekinesis to control the chains in the classroom. In just a blink of an eye, countless chains gathered into a steel monster. The principal was stunned by this rage. Then in the next second, Xiaomei used telekinesis to control the monster and destroyed all the small dark rooms. She did not let go of the instigator of all this. She used telekinesis to braid the principal's hair into a ponytail and then swung her into the air. As Xiaomei exerted force, the principal was thrown from the classroom to the playground. Seeing that Xiaomei's ability was so terrifying, the principal had to leave in disgrace. And the school finally returned to peace. The film ends here. Pay attention to the example. It tastes better.